Y'all, social media is a dangerous world to play in, right? I say that because people get on social media and say some of the most disrespectful, vile, despicable things to violate another man. I'm talking about some of the most low, heinous, craziest stuff that can ever come out of people's mouths. Like some stuff that you look at a person and say, you really said that? Like, really? Like, come on, you can be passionate. And again, y'all watch my channel. I'm passionate at times, at many times. I get upset. I do some cursing, but there are certain things I will never say about another man because I know, even though I'm not even in line to be next to these certain individuals I'm talking to, I'm never in the same rooms or the same atmosphere to say certain things about the people I'm talking about. It's still like a certain things that I won't say about a person because it's like, yo, that's low, that's foul. But some people, they aren't mindful of that, and they just say whatever to go viral, whatever to get their channel popping, whatever to just, whatever to just get all the clicks they can get. Hassan Campbell. Hassan rose to prominence some years back when he talked about alleged sexual abuse that he encountered from Afrika Bambaataa. Right? Hip-hop legend Afrika Bambaataa, he accused Afrika Bambaataa of sexually violating him as a young boy, right? And so his name got popular. He started vlogging just like the rest of us do on YouTube. I'm watching Hassan Campbell on DJ Academics podcast or talking to academics. And the stuff he's saying to Jay Prince is, wild. Wild. Now, I don't agree with certain things that Jay Prince Jr. did and certain things that the aura that they present in certain times. And I disagree with certain things that may have been said or how certain situations were handled, right? But I will never say certain things about another man that this man said. Hassan Campbell get on DJ Academics podcast telling Jay Prince to suck all kind of DICKs, suck this D, that D, that D, that D, telling him F his mother, F who gave birth to him, F who came from him, all type of just wild stuff. Telling him he'll smack the SHIT out of him, all type of crazy stuff. And it's like, even when men have problems with other men, or you have a problem with how a man handled a certain situation, to tell him to suck a you know what and F his mother, right? And you will smack the SHIT out of him and he can suck a long D and a short D and all that, and you have no personal, like, bro, what are you, like, what? You don't have no type of dog in that fight, in that situation. You have no type of dog in that fight, in that situation. Takeoff not your little homie. That ain't your little brother, even though, you riding so hard and just being so vile and despicable. And I'm like, yo, this dude is really a character because he'll say all of this to Jay Prince and talk like he top goon number one and he don't give a F, and talk like he's the biggest street dude around, the biggest street dude to ever emerge from New York. He'll talk like that. But he was around Afrika Bambaataa as a grown man after he talks about all this alleged abuse that went on, and was around Afrika Bambaataa, standing around him, not doing nothing to him, taking pictures with him. He's seen in pictures with this man as a grown man. All that talk and all that animus you got for Jay Prince, how he can suck this and suck that and all this and all of that and F his mother. Where was all that energy to Afrika Bambaataa if he allegedly did these things to you? Right? Because I don't know no man who's a goon that I grew up with or that was from around my way. I'm not a goon by any stretch of the imagination. But it was a lot of street dudes that was on my block, in my grandmother's neighborhood, in my father's neighborhood, so on and so forth, right? And I seen these individuals. And if something like that happened to them as a child, there's no way that as a grown man, they would see that person and not be putting hands, feet, elbows, toes, fists, everything you can imagine on that person. Dropping that dude on their head and even worse. But here Hassan Campbell goes, he get around Afrika Bambaataa smiling, all kicks and giggles and all this and all of that. And then it's so weird because he'll talk about the alleged abuse that happened from Afrika Bambaataa, but then still talk about him as if he's a loving father, like he's his father in the same fashion. Talk about him all the heinous stuff he did, but then talk about him as if he's his father in the same word, in the same breath. But now you're talking about you would do this and you would do that to Jay Prince. Jay Prince can suck the long one and F his mother and all of that. What was all this animus to Bambaataa, to Bam? If Bam did that and you top goon number one and you really like this and you like that, Where was this energy directed to Bambaataa? Dudes get on the social media and become individuals and characters they never would be in real life. And I don't know how, as a grown man, you can talk like you top goon number one, act like you the biggest killer around. You feel me? You the biggest crook and killer from New York and all this and all of that. And you were so like such a warrior and savage. But you be around a person who allegedly violated you as a young boy, who allegedly took innocence from you. And then you sit around and talk about him almost in certain fashions and in certain facets, in certain breaths. You can talk about him almost as if he's a father in a type of an admiration type of tone. You can talk about him in like an admirable way in certain facets, and then you be around him and you don't violate that brother in any type of way. You don't put hands, feet, elbows, and fists and all on that dude. You get around him and you turn into you freeze up. You turn into like a subservient individual. You act as if like this person is a person you don't even know. But then you gonna do all this and all that to Jay Prince. Like, come on, make it make sense, bro. Like, it just how he was carrying on. It's like, bro, no, man, knock it off. Knock it off. Even if you don't like what Jay Prince did, it's a way to talk about it without telling him to suck this and suck that and F his mother and F everything that came from him. And he's a bitch, a N-word, and then calling, again, I didn't like how Wallow and Gilly, I didn't like how, the clip about him talking, the clip of Jay Prince talking to Offset, I didn't like how that was like used as a pitch to watch the interview. I didn't like how it was used as a way to, to get everybody to tune in, because especially when Wallow was talking about uplifting the community, so on and so forth. I didn't like that, and I talked about that in the previous video that you can see on this channel, right? But I ain't gonna call Wallow no bitch, a N-word and all this and all. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I mean, just talking crazy because he's on Academics podcast and he recognizes, hey, this is the time for me to get a lot amount of subscribers and viewers to come to my channel, and for me to get, for a clickbait, for me to be looked at as just so I can get my channel booming and I can be, my channel can grow even more. It's ridiculous. He want to be in the line of in the ilk of Charleston White. He's trying to take that approach. And it's like, bro, like, knock it off, bro. I don't believe you when you talking all this and all of that. Be careful, bro. Because you talking all this and all of that, and we saw you, all this, you acting like you a top goon. And as a top goon, as a warrior, as a savage, you was around a dude that violated you, and nothing happened to that brother. I ain't say you had to kill a brother. I didn't say, but I know some brothers that would have beat him into an inch of his life. And even that, you ain't smack him, you ain't do none of that, all that guerrilla talk you talking about you would do to Jay Prince. Right? And again, I'm not a brother that advocates for violence in my community or amongst my people at all. But it's just like, how you gonna talk like this? The dude that did this stuff to you, allegedly did this stuff to you, and then you don't talk like that, and you don't be on that type of time and that type of energy, because he said some things about Bam, but when he saw him, it wasn't the same energy, it didn't match up. But then you gonna talk about Jay Prince and how you gonna do this and you would do that? Brother, knock it off, man. You don't even... Hassan probably don't even got that much pull in his own in New York City like that. But it's just like, man, people just be reaching and just saying whatever just to try to get popping and get a moment, create a viral moment for they stuff to be buzzing. It's like, bro, all this disrespecting he doing, knowing he wouldn't be doing this to Jay Prince facing. He wouldn't be talking like this if he was in their presence. And I ain't trying to say like, act as if Jay Prince and them is just the big bad bullies and top goon like that either. But I'm just saying, in that grown man's face, you would never have that same type of energy. Telling that man to F his mother, he can all this crazy stuff. That's just nonsense. Like, are you for real? As a grown man, Hassan been on some hypocritical stuff for a while, because I remember he was talking about boys getting killed, talking about he got his TV turned off and all that. And then when his little homie got killed, he was real gracious and he was real careful in his words. He was real empathetic about how he talked about the murder of a person he knew, but he didn't extend that type of empathy to other people that were killed in stories he was telling on his channel. Talking about they got their noodles cooked, noodles blown back, all type of crazy stuff, right? But it's just like this brother is just a dude that's an attention whore. Loves attention, is a groupie for attention. What Jigga say? Except that fame is the worst drug known to man. It's stronger than heroin when you can look in the mirror like there I am and still not see what you become. Hassan don't see nothing how he acting. Like I can imagine my children watching that, or even my mom. I ain't gonna put my kids on that. I can imagine my homies watching me talking like that and be like, Mac, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you on? Why are you talking to that man like that as if he did, like, as if you got a stake in that situation, like you got a stake in that beef. Like you know, like you got, you're taking part in this beef, or you have some type of issue in the mix of this whole situation. Speaking on situation, and you can speak on the situation, because we all are bloggers. I mean, vloggers. We all are vloggers. But for him to talk with that type of animus in his tone and all them type of threats and vulgarities like that, it's like, bro, that cut that shit out, bro. That's lame as hell, corny as hell, and Hassan is a fucking cornball, grade A cornball. And it's just like, but people blindly follow the brother because they like certain things he might have said about Bam or certain topics when he talks about certain things. But it's like when you see stuff like that carrying on like that, you know if they was in his face, Hassan ain't on that type of time. Hassan gonna flick that switch off and he gonna get real respectful and he gonna talk with sense and he gonna apologize for that type of talk. Telling dudes, like inviting another man to your genitals several times, and I mean trying to rhyme with it, trying to talk slick, show out on camera in front of academics now. Academics like, bro, hold on, watch out now. He trying to show out and be cool and like, but grown ass, sit your ass down. Grown as hell, old as hell, want to act like he one of the young boys. He telling all these kids in the rap beefs to stop being so disrespectful, and these people got families, they got mothers, and y'all dissing the dead, and y'all saying this, saying some of the most disrespectful stuff. But then he get on here and talk crazy to Jay Prince, even though Jay Prince is alive and well, to still talk on that man's name, telling him F his mother and all of that. You doing the same shit you act like you're advocating against when it comes to these young kids in drill music. Except you're not dissing the person who's deceased. But you coming at him with the same type of energy, the same type of animus, the same type of venomous spirit that you say the other kids have, that is the perfect example of toxicity within black communities in the hood. Make it make sense, brother. Wait, like, brother clowned out as hell, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.